love this place. I love you guys. I really do. Like when I come here, I my heart just opens even more. And I've sent you guys so many speakers, and they've loved coming here. Everybody that I've said, oh, you have to go there, and I give their name to Anne or whoever it is, it's like, oh my God, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. They love you. I really want you to get that. Like these big city people or whatever, right? They're coming out here and they absolutely love you guys. I talk about this place as being just so heart-centered. And I am so grateful to come here and experience that overflow and that love and that heart. Thank you for being that. When I first came here, it was many years ago, there was a big conflict. You guys almost lost your place, and I felt called to take your leadership into that room next door, like what Anne had said, and said, you guys need to figure out what you're gonna do here. Do you remember that, Joe? Right? And so much love came out of that experience. It was just, it took a while. It was rough. It was rough, right? And I don't know who remembers that, right? It was a rough experience. And you guys pulled it through and you created, this is just such a gift. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for bringing me here. So my talk today is really a personal talk, called to love even when you're triggered, and I really want to add even when you don't want to. Because there are many times that I do not want to love. Just today, I was at the gas station. This guy pulled in front of me, and I'm trying to pull out of the gas station, and he's driving literally probably 2 miles an hour, and I did not want to love him. I wanted to say a lot of stuff to him as I'm rushing over here. That was not very loving. But I made a different choice. I took a breath, and I drove 2 miles an hour until he stepped out of my way. And then immediately, 500 feet away, another car literally pulled in front of me, and it was a beautiful convertible Jaguar, and was sort of wandering around the road. From one side of the road to the other side. I couldn't get around him. I just had to say, thank you. And eventually we came to the left-hand turn lane, and they got in the lane in front of me. And I had to say thank you. And the light turned green, and I had the opportunity to go around them, and I said thank you. Right? How many can relate to that? Absolutely. So this idea of called to love, I believe that life is that. That life itself is a call to love. What Joe read earlier from Ernest Holmes, the idea that the God in is the God without. We are living in the God experience. God is interchangeable with the words love. In our tradition of CSL, we'll say they are spiritual equivalents. A spiritual equivalent for God would be beauty. A spiritual equivalent for God would be love. A spiritual equivalent would be prosperity, harmony, abundance. I could interchange those words for the word God. They are the quality, and they are the capital letter quality. It's not love on the little human scale. It is love on the big capital L scale. You got that? And we are called to be in that love every day. And we get to make a choice, because that's how free will works. We get to make a choice, and we can move away from that love. We can separate ourselves from that love. We can honk your horn, honk my horn, I can honk my horn. And say, get out of my way, or I can choose to breathe, to sit, to pause, and to love. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes there are things that have been done to me in my life. And I could go into that victim mode. I could go below the line, I like to call it. And I could choose not to love. I could be angry, I could be vengeful. I could be depressed and sad. I could be that victim. And I know how to do it really, really well. And I can make a different choice. And so I'm calling you to do that today and for the rest of your life. This is a calling. You are here because you were called here. The universe brought you here.
That's right.
And so I want you to take a moment. And I don't normally do this. As a therapist, when you teach a little exercise or a new something or another, a lot of times you say to your clients, I want you to choose the least triggering situation. Today, I want you to choose the hardest situation, the hardest experience. I want you to choose the thing that triggers you the most. And I'm sorry if it brings up pain. I'm sorry if it brings up shame. I'm sorry if it hurts. And I want you to choose it anyway. And I want you to do a little exercise with me. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes, and I want you to see that person, place, or thing that caused you pain. And on the human level, that thing that hurt us, it's hard to go up to it and say, I love you. And I'm not asking you to. But I am asking you to imagine above that person, place, or thing is that person's highest self. Is that person's soul? Is that person's energy? However you understand it. And I want you to say to that highest self, from your highest self. I always have this vision that there's two physical human bodies, my body and that other person's body. And I am going to my highest self. And from my highest self, I am saying to that person who did me wrong, I am saying to their highest self, their essence of the divine that they are. From my truth to their truth. From my God to their God. I am saying, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry for your suffering. That you did what you did. I'm so sorry for your pain. Thank you for being my teacher. Thank you for calling me to love more deeply. Thank you for calling me to heal, to forgive, to let go, to be free. From my highest self to your highest self, I love you. And so I'm going to ask you to take that. I'm going to just be quiet for a few seconds, and I want you to really, really get into that experience as best you can as you allow yourself. From my highest self to your highest self, I choose love. Even when it's hard, even when it's triggering. I choose love. Those 20 seconds of choosing love, you are creating freedom. You are creating freedom from the bondage of pain. You are creating freedom from toxic chemicals running through your body that are triggered by your fear, judgment, or whatever it is. You are creating freedom in your cells. You are creating freedom in your heart, in your spirit, and your soul. You are choosing freedom. There's a lot in this world that on our human experience seems unforgivable. And when we step into our highest self, when we step into being the divine that we are, as God is, I am. As God is, we are. When we step into that, we elevate ourselves. We become the funnel for the divine to pour itself into more effortlessly with no roadblocks. We become the vessel for the divine to pour itself into. And I don't know about you, but I love love. I love feeling love. I love that open heart. I love that spirit. I love that energy. I love it when my heart is ripped open and it's that painful, blissful love. I'm feeling it right now. It is in this room. It is now, and we are elevating. And as we do this, as we consciously choose to be that love, we participate in the tipping point. We participate in the tipping point of bringing God into God even more. You can't escape God. You can't escape love. You could try. You could hold on to something. You could grab onto your pain. You can use it as your identity. You can do all those types of things. Or you could just choose freedom by choosing love. And so on this weekend where we celebrate freedom, the true capital F freedom, not the freedom of this nation, because that is a human freedom and it is a wonderful, beautiful thing. But let's elevate that. Let's go to the capital F freedom of the divine, where we are free, where we are connected, where we are one, and not forget that even when someone is driving 2 miles an hour in front of you and blocking you from getting here, let's choose that freedom and participate in that tipping point. For saying, I love love. And I choose to consciously participate in love. I demonstrate it in my life right now. So I am putting a call out to you. How are you going to demonstrate love today? It may be impossible in this human form to go to that person who wronged you, who hurt you, and say, I love you. And I'm not asking you to do that. I want to be really, really clear. That is the quality of a saint. And I don't expect you to be a saint. But I do ask you to walk that love into life. How can you speak it? How can you just be the energy of it today? How can you walk it in physical form through these bodies that we have been given, these gifts of flesh, that we get to be spirit and walk as spirit into life? That is my question for you, that I ask you to visualize, imagine, and think about, to take this moment right now and practice. Whether you're going to the grocery store, whether you're sending an email, how can I demonstrate? How can I walk that love? How can I choose to participate even when my heart is hurt, even when I'm in my human experience? How can I choose freedom? And how can I be love? And I want to end this with that affirmation that Anne read. And I'd love for you to repeat with me, if you're willing to, if you want to. I release and I let go.
I release and I let go.
Anything and everyone.
Anything and everyone.
That is out of alignment.
That is out of alignment.
Consciously or subconsciously.
Consciously or subconsciously.
With my highest good.
With my highest good.
I choose love.
I choose love.
I choose life.
I choose life.
I walk it in the world now.
I walk it in the world now.
And there's a word I used to be very triggered by, because I grew up in a very Catholic faith, and that word was amen. 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 However you said it. It bothered me, and I didn't know what it meant. And someone told me once that the origin of that word is, this is my truth. And so now when I say amen, I'm affirming this is my truth. This is my truth that I release and I let go everything and everyone that is out of alignment with my highest good, that is out of alignment with love. And so if you choose to say, I release and let go, and amen, this is my truth, please say it with me. Amen.
Amen.
And so it is.
Thank you.